Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We're going to get started in just a minute. Let's wait for some more people to come in.
Oh, we already have a raised hand, Taylor. Hi, everyone. I'm Loreal Lance, your Member Services Director. Let's go ahead and get started because I have so many fun details to share with you about our upcoming Expo, Expo 2022, which will kick off in really just a few short days. Taylor, will you go ahead and please pull up all of the details? So this schedule at a glance is not up on our website, but it will be as we inch closer. We are in the process of just finalizing a few details like room names and room numbers and that sort of thing. But I did want to say that we do have our app. Taylor worked very, very hard on our app. And so the app will remain the most up to date when it comes to any sort of changes that may be had regarding Expo 2022. So you'll see the schedule at a glance at our registration desk. There'll be a big monitor with it listed. And you'll probably see it in a few other places too, like our attendee guide. But it is very important that you look to the app for any changes that may be happening behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and get started for what I believe is one of maybe just a few rare cases. We will be starting Expo 2022 with an opening session breakfast. In previous years, there were intensives on the front end of Expo, and then everyone kind of gathered for the first time together around lunch. This time we're kicking off with a breakfast and we hope to see you there. We have a dynamic speaker planned, and you'll also hear from Scott Bogren on his transit trends analysis as we continue to climb out of the pandemic. So it is certainly something that you do not want to miss. It's being sponsored by RLS, and there will be a generous hot breakfast provided. There's also the mobility lounge. So anyone who's a mobility manager, that's a great place to connect and network and get to know others in your industry. Then we go into workshop block 1. You can see that there's a number of options for you, and you'll see that there's 2 repeat options. As you look throughout the app and our schedule at a glance, you'll want to note those that are going to be repeated so that way you can plan your schedule accordingly and decide when you're going to go to that actual session. And then right after block 1, we go into block 2. And as you can see, there's a number of repeated sessions there as well. And some sponsored sessions where you can learn a lot about what some of our corporate partners have going on. After 2 blocks of sessions, we're going to head into our opening luncheon. That luncheon will feature the FTA. We have a speaker from the FTA, as well as our Emerging Leaders Academy graduation and a few other fun things, so please don't miss that. Following the luncheon, we'll move into workshop block 3. You'll see that one of the sessions, topic 4 in workshop block 3, is the legislative update. In previous years, you probably would have seen this session in the very large dining room that we may have lunch in, where you have all 1,000 or so of us gathered, and that session will be done kind of around a meal. This time we're going to be doing it twice, both on Tuesday and Thursday, as a specialized topic just worked in within our workshops. So please make sure that you capture one of those sessions. I will say that the Tuesday session is slightly shorter than the Thursday session just due to scheduling, but it's the same content. After workshop block 3, we're moving on to workshop block 4. A lot of fun options there for you too. Delegates and board members will have a leadership meeting, and then we will have our State of the Association reception. And this is a good time to point out that you'll see on the schedule at a glance that a number of our sessions are at the Kentucky International Convention Center. I would say 99% of things are being held there. but there are some opportunities in which you'll find yourself over at the Omni, our host hotel, for some sessions or evening receptions, starting with Tuesday evening at the State of the Association reception, which is a great time to meet and mingle with everyone in a casual pre-dinner atmosphere. We'll have some snacks and some great intel on what the association has been up to since we were all last together.
Loreal, do you mind if I add a quick comment?
Please do.
So just as Loreal mentioned, we have the convention center and we have the Omni. As you're looking through these schedules, just keep in mind that it's about a 7-minute walk between the two destinations. So just keep that in mind when you're building your own schedules, and just try to accommodate that as you move throughout the week.
Thank you, Taylor. Let's move on. Now we're at Wednesday. Again, the Mobility Lounge will be open for mobility managers. We're going to have a networking continental breakfast sponsored by Toyota. After that, throughout the day, there is one particular room, L015, where you can find all of the hottest things in transit technology available to you. There will be a list of speakers, and that's provided in our app, and you can see how they drill down into various things that they provide. And at 9 o'clock, after the networking continental breakfast, we'll have workshop block 5. You'll see that we have a mobility managers track. You'll probably, if you're a mobility manager, you'll probably want to check out some of those options. And workshop block 5 and 6 actually have a jumbo session kind of broke into 2, the challenges impacting transit asset management plan. So if that is of interest to you, be sure to check out both part 1 and part 2. Then we have the membership awards lunch, and we have 4 winners, and I can't wait to tell you all about them at that luncheon. So that will be held in Ballroom C. You'll note that all of our large general sessions will be held in Ballroom C. From there, we move into workshop block 7, also has a mobility managers track. You'll also see a few items on Wednesday that are related directly to NEMT as well. And then workshop block 8, it's the last workshop block for the day. We have ASHTO's having a private meeting and a number of other options, including the mobility managers track. Back by popular demand, and we're so excited to be hosting again our Women in Transit networking event. Last year, we had about 75 ladies come and join us for a networking event before the trade show grand opening reception, and we're hoping to double that amount this year. So in efforts to facilitate the amount of time it takes to walk from point A to point B and to get everyone where they need to be, that Women in Transit networking event is going to be held essentially in front of the doors that open to the trade show hall. So, you know, these convention centers have large lobbies and things like that. And so we have a little private area roped off for the Women in Transit networking event. And then when it's time, we'll open up the doors to the trade show grand opening reception. This is a great time to get to know all of the vendors that have come to chat with you to figure out your procurement needs. We know that there's still a lot of struggles in the procurement space, especially with vehicles. So perhaps you can spend some time on the trade show grand opening floor, just kind of figuring out what's what with your procurement needs. And we have a new and improved membership lounge in the middle of the trade show floor. And during the trade show grand opening reception, you'll be able to connect directly with members from our training team here at CTAA and some of our grant partners too, like NCMM, NCAT, and Transit Planning for All. So if you are looking to utilize kind of any of our services, the membership lounge in the middle of the trade show floor is a great place to start. We also have a limited edition Expo 2022 t-shirt that will be for sale, and that will be a great time to purchase one of those. They're going to be very economically priced, but we only have a few, so best to get there early to the trade show grand opening reception. Taylor, do we have any questions?
Yes, I'm going to jump in. Thank you. So we had a question regarding the app, and this is something I'm very happy this person has brought up. We have been getting many questions regarding this. A lot of people have told us they're having challenges bookmarking and scheduling their own personal schedules through the app. Unfortunately, the way we had to build it this year, there is nothing we can do on our end to change that. I do want to say that this is the last year we will have this app software. Next year, it'll be much more customizable and user-friendly. So unfortunately, there's just nothing that we can do to change the bookmarking or the My Schedule tab. It was just the way that we had to upload all of these things into our platform. But thank you so much for your comment. And I do just want to make it clear that we are changing this for next year because we know it's definitely not the best thing out there right now.
Thank you. All right, let's go into Thursday. In my world, Thursday is going to be very hectic, but oh so fun. We have a lot of great things in store. We're going to start with the trade show Continental Breakfast, another opportunity to continue having those conversations on the trade show floor. But what gets really fun is that we have a number of forums and intensives that will kick off on that day. So for our forums, we have the NCMM forum, the NCAT forum, and the Transit Planning for All forum. All three of those will be held at the Omni, about 7 minutes walk away from the trade show in the convention center. Many of those forums are very close to selling out and they are free. So if you are interested in joining those forums, please contact us at events@ctaa.org and we will get you added to the list before they sell out. The Transit Planning for All forum, it does have some particulars, so let us know if you're interested. And then Thursday, we have 3 intensives that we'll be lifting up: excellence in training, building and retaining a sustainable driver workforce, and developing policies and procedures. Most of you really gravitated to that developing policies and procedures intensive, so I'm sad to say that it's sold out, but we are noting the interest as we prepare for Expo 23. But the other 2 do have space. Those are at an additional fee. So again, send us a note. I noticed that Taylor's put our email address in the chat box. So send us a note if you want to add something to your registration. Then we will have workshop block 9, which will kind of kick off on the expo side of things at 9:15 a.m. just after the Continental breakfast. And one of the things I just wanted to highlight for those who are state association presidents, we would love to hear from you during a session at that time. Taylor will be in touch with additional details. And then we have workshop block 10. One of the cool things here is that we will have our secondary legislative update. So if you missed the first one, or if it wasn't a part of your schedule because you really wanted to get to something else on Tuesday, that is a great time to go ahead and hear from Scott about what's going on legislatively here in Washington, D.C. I also wanted to highlight the CDL training. I think that's going to be a very hot course, so we put it in a large room. So if you have interest in new directions for the new hire, CDL training resources and needs, please go and check that out. All right, Taylor. And then we have lunch on our trade show floor. And so that'll be a nice chunk of the afternoon. And while some are doing that, those who are over at the forums will stay there. There'll be another lunch hosted over there. And they'll continue with their unconference or just the traditional conference for the rest of the afternoon. Then we have workshop block 11, and this is the last workshop block for the traditional Expo week. I want to highlight our Kentucky Spotlight session. Our friends from KPTA, the Kentucky Public Transit Association, they're going to be sharing a lot about NEMT. They've done some really innovative things when it comes to corrections and opioids and other needs in the community and how they've navigated that. And so I suggest you check that out and hear from our friends from Kentucky. We have the FTA CCAM listening session that the FTA will be holding, and I know that they would love to see all of your smiling faces. This concludes what I'll call the jumbo expo schedule. We took a lot of feedback from our time in Richmond and really beefed it up. We added some repeat sessions so that way you can plan your schedule accordingly. We have 11 workshop blocks, which is a lot for us. And so we're very excited to see you kind of maneuvering throughout the week. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, Loreal, what happens after 3:30 on Thursday? So that is your break. It's not here because it is kind of just this, we focus this just on content, if you will. That is your break, because we want you to go and get all guzzied up and get ready for the big night out at Churchill Downs. The buses will start rolling at 5 p.m. from the Omni. I want to make it clear that you do have to take our bus in order to get into the event. It is a highly ticketed, secure event, and you're not going to be able to Uber, Lyft, train, bus to get there on your own. You do need to take the buses that we have chartered from an ADA compliant company that has lifts and everything else we need to be accessible. You'll need to take that from the Omni. And again, those buses start rolling at 5 p.m. and they will keep moving as quickly as possible to get everyone over to Churchill Downs. And what I want to highlight about Churchill Downs once you're there is we do need everyone to dress as indicated by their dress code at Churchill Downs, which means no jeans, no sneakers, no ripped shirts, ripped pants, anything like that. The Kentucky Derby actually kicks off the Saturday before our conference starts on Tuesday. And so they are going to be paying a lot of attention, and they're going to be kind of all eyes on Churchill Downs. So of course, we at CTAA want to make sure that we are in line with the venue's expectations. So we wanted to make sure we shared with you that you will need to kind of look the part, so to speak, as one would do at the Kentucky Derby, which is why we decided to put together a contest with cash prizes and some other little prizes too, in relation to your attire for the big night out. We have a hat prize, an accessory prize, and there's one other prize, right, Taylor?
Yes, there is. We're doing best accessories, best hat, and most likely to turn heads. We have three. We'll list them all out. And before Loreal continues, I'm going to jump in real quick. Someone was asking what happens if your intensive goes until 5 p.m. We will keep the buses running. Buses don't stop at 5 or 5:30. They'll keep running until all of our attendees are at Churchill Downs, especially knowing that we have many ad intensives. And the other question was, are we able to purchase extra tickets? Yes, you are able to purchase extra tickets. We encourage you to do that as soon as you get to Louisville. And hopefully you can purchase those when you pick up your registration on the Tuesday.
I want to go a little bit further on the purchasing of tickets. As you all can imagine, purchasing a ticket for an event that we've already started planning gets a little difficult. So to Taylor's insistence, please do take care of that on Tuesday. We will likely get to a point in which we're going to be unable to offer additional guest tickets. And so please do take care of that ASAP. They are $65 in cash or credit card. We do not accept checks at the registration desk. And a note about the Omni, because I see a question here, the buses will only roll for the Omni. So if you're staying at the Hampton Inn or some other hotel, you will need to walk over to the Omni to get yourself on the bus to go over to Churchill Downs. And of course, on the return, we will only be returning to the Omni. And so after the big night out, where we hope that you're going to have a grand time, will we be having delicious reception styled fare. I'm getting some more questions about the guest tickets, so I want to go back to that. My apologies. Can we purchase tickets before Tuesday? No, unfortunately, you will need to purchase tickets on Tuesday or as soon as you arrive. Registration is actually open on Monday from 2 to 7. So if you happen to be in town, that's a great time to get your tickets too. But we imagine most people probably will not make it to the registration desk until Tuesday morning. And just so I'm clear, yes, you can purchase guest tickets for the big night out, but again, you want to get those early. We don't, unfortunately, have unlimited capacity for the room. Moving on to Friday, I think we will be saying goodbye to many of our 800 plus attendees on Friday morning. So as we say goodbye to them, we will start intensives. There's a number of intensives that will be held on Friday. A few of them are sold out, but again, if you have some interest in some of the Friday intensives, but you yet to register for those particular intensives, we'll be happy to assist you if you send us a quick note. I did want to highlight that for intensives on Friday, Meals are not included as they're kind of outside of the typical expo week. And so we have secured some information on close by lunch options in particular, in which you can go ahead and procure your lunch during your break. All of the intensive instructors for Friday know that they need to give an hour-long break to facilitate a true lunch break, so you can get out and run to Panera, Chipotle, whatever makes sense for you. And we'll have maps and other information available to those who will be in intensives on Friday. I should also note that the Omni Hotel, which as we noted is about a 7-minute walk away, has a number of food and beverage outlets. They have like a little market with about 6 or so different eateries in it. Think kind of like a mall food court. So that's another kind of easy option for you. And then we will do rodeo registration, testing and meetings, and kind of all things rodeo outside of the competition will happen on Friday too. All of the Friday activities will be held at the Kentucky International Convention Center. And I'm getting a question about the Emerging Leaders Academy. And my answer to that is we will continue with the Emerging Leaders Academy in the future. We are looking at how we want to structure the program to make sure that it is for the best of all involved, particularly the participants. So more on that soon. I'm thinking likely midsummer we'll be able to announce our ongoing plans with that. And then on Saturday, for those who are joining the rodeo competition, whether you're a driver, a judge, or just a spectator, we're so excited to see you. The bus will leave the Omni and the Omni only at 7 a.m. to head towards the course. And we expect the event to probably go out on the course until about 4:30, something along those lines, with the van course probably ending a little before the body on chastity course. But we have a number of fun evening activities following the rodeo competition. Those who are judges or are drivers or have a confirmed guest ticket. So if you haven't purchased a guest ticket for the rodeo celebration, but you would like to attend, those are $50. And those can be purchased at the registration table as well, just like where you can purchase the big night out tickets. We have a fun casual. This year we're going casual. We have some fun games planned. Think like football toss and things like that. And that will be held at the Omni, the evening rodeo celebration on Saturday, May 14th at 6:30 p.m. Any other lingering questions, Taylor? Anything you think I didn't quite hit like I should have?
I don't think so. Next steps you'll hear from us, and please, while I'm saying this, feel free to drop any lingering questions that you all might have. The next time you'll hear from us, we'll be receiving our full attendee guide next week. There we further break down what kind of meals are available when, the full restaurant guides, general attire, how to get around Louisville, those sorts of fun things. But outside of that, we are just really excited to see everyone.
We are very excited to see all of your smiling faces in Louisville in just a few short days. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to utilize the email address events@ctaa.org that Taylor dropped into the chat box.
Just to answer that app question real quick, yep, it's the same app. If you just go to the App Store, search CTAA meetings, it'll pop up.
Oh, great question. Thank you, anonymous attendee. The question is about masks. So our stance on any sort of COVID protocols or restrictions is that we're currently and will continue to monitor any changes from federal, state, local authorities regarding any sort of mandates on anything, mask and anything else. Officially, we ask everyone to be respectful of all of the other probably 799 attendees that you'll come in contact with. Feel free to wear your mask. We are not requiring them, but please feel free to be as comfortable and as safe as you choose to be.
And as a follow-up as well, somebody asked if this recording will be available after this webinar. And yes, we will be sharing this recording with the attendee guide next week.
Well, thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you in Louisville. And please do not forget your big night out theming gear. We can't wait to see everyone dressed to the nines.
Thank you.